Hello everybody, it's Freaksy here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're talking about something very big for Nintendo. The Nintendo Switch 2 has been out now for around 8 months. It has already smashed many records, it is the fastest selling games console ever, but there are a few things that me and other people are also asking. Where are all the exclusive games, and is the Switch 2 really worth buying right now? Okay, so let's set the stage. It's currently late February 2026. The Switch 2 has been out since the 5th of June 2025. Nintendo's install base after its first 7 months was nearly double what the original Switch was in the same period. 17.37 million compared to 7.631 million for the original Nintendo Switch 1. But despite those insane sale numbers, the Switch 2 exclusives are still all kind of thin on ice in my opinion. So, when I've had a deeper dive into looking at what games are actually out there exclusive for the Switch 2, when I've done some research and looked into the Wikipedia numbers, there are 27 games listed total which are exclusive for the Switch 2, so they don't have any other sort of Switch 1 editions or they don't have a release on a different console. In this 27 game list, there are many small games and games that might have not even been released yet. So when I looked at and did a deeper dive into looking at individual games, I really found that there are only 8 games which I found were really big console sellers that maybe everybody should be playing for the Switch 2. Unfortunately for me, this really isn't enough, and unfortunately, even 2 of those games that I have found aren't even released yet for the Switch 2, meaning that there's only around 6 games total at the moment, which I think are really worth buying the console for, and not having as an exclusive. So, of that list of 8 games, I would like to start talking about Donkey Kong Bananza. This for me is the best game on the Switch that is an exclusive at the moment. I think the detail they really went into with the smashing mechanics and collecting all the bananas and all the different environments and puzzles that you can explore within the game is really great for me, and something that really challenges something like the 3D Mario games, even though it is a Donkey Kong game rather than a 3D Mario. I think that this game was a really good idea and a really great way to sell consoles. But I also think, that it also needs other games to help prop it up that are also this 3D world environment. Secondly, moving on to Mario Kart World, this was the game that launched with the Nintendo Switch 2 system. I really think that Mario Kart is a really classic game that should be on all Nintendo consoles. But unfortunately for me, I really do think that Mario Kart World it's got a great open world, but it's really bare bones for me in terms of activities and things to do. And with the way they've handled Grand Prix tracks and most of them being kind of one long circuit rather than 3 lap circuits, I really feel that they maybe missed the mark with what Mario Kart fans really love about the game, even though they did try to do something new. Hopefully in the future with updates they can kind of release DLC and maybe more just 3 lap maps and kind of change the system of the game and give us maybe some more good in-game content for each for the map, so you're able to do more within the open world and play with your friends. So then, moving on to Hyrule Warriors As Your Imprisonment. This game was released on the 6th of November 2025, and I think it's another really great addition to the Hyrule Warriors series, really showing the capabilities of the Nintendo Switch 2 system, showing how many enemies they can have in a vast open world. I really think it's a great addition to the Hyrule Warriors series total as well, and I really think that, it's an exclusive game that added lots of variety to the current Switch 2 library. So then to talk about kind of the 3 games that I think are going to be released this year but haven't actually been released but are definitely announced are Pokemon Pokopia. I think that this game is going to be a really great crossover for Animal Crossing fans as well as Pokemon fans, as it is in that Animal Crossing genre of games. How as well is going to be great for Pokemon fans, as you know it's interactive and it's in the Kanto region, so there's lots of nostalgia there. The final 2 I would like to talk about are Splatoon Raiders, the next edition of the Splatoon games. I really think that this game is going to be really great, and I know it's going to have co-op mode as well, so I think that this is going to be a really, really great addition and something really different for the Switch 2. And finally, we have Fire Emblem Fortune Weave. This isn't a game that I've played much of the Fire Emblem series, but I know it's a huge series that is a lot of people probably going to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 console for. So, of the 27 exclusive Switch 2 games that are on the Wikipedia page, those are the 8 that I think are really worth playing. 3 of those have not even been released yet, but I really do think that they offer some sort of variety. But unfortunately, being 7 months into the system, I really still don't think it's enough. Even with all the Switch 1 games that have been given Switch 2 editions, I really think it's poor the amount of Switch 2 games that we've been given that are exclusives. Like, I know these are all really great games and, really large and vast open games, but unfortunately, they're just not enough for me to sell the system to someone who might not have any other game systems, and this is the main system they're going to be playing on. So, when do I think that other games are going to be announced for the Switch 2? With the February Partner Direct already happening, I really can't see us getting anything really announced significant, apart from one main thing, which will be from Pokemon Generation 10. With it being due to be Pokemon Day on the February 27th, with it being also Pokemon's 30th anniversary, I think we can all anticipate that Gen 10 hopefully will be released on this date for an end of 2026 release. I think other than that, there's not going to be really much released up until the summer, to be honest, or even announced. So apart from Generation 10, the next time I do really think that we're going to see a exclusive game announced is going to be in the June Direct we normally have for Nintendo. This is something that is really disappointing for me, as you know, I really thought there was going to be announcing some games in February that we could maybe be looking forward to the summer, but unfortunately that really isn't the case at the moment. So, for the June 2026 Direct, what do I really want to see that I think would really make the system a really big seller and hopefully make sales boom even more? I think firstly, if they were to announce a new main series Zelda game, I do think this is really unlikely that they're going to release this just yet, or if anything, it's going to be close to be ready. But I think this is something that, you know, would really boost the sales of the Nintendo Switch, as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are both games which loads of people have bought the console just for. Secondly, I think that Super Smash Bros. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition, or whatever they want to call it, will be the next really big exclusive that they could announce for maybe December time. I think, you know, there isn't really any sort of rumours or anything that there's going to be a Switch 2 edition of the current Smash Bros. Game for the Switch 1. So I think that hopefully they will make a fully fledged Switch 2 Smash Bros. Game, which will hopefully allow for them to release something and have a really exciting game that is a real big console seller for a lot of Smash fans. So I think something that would be really far-fetched is, as definitely they've only just released Donkey Kong Bananza, the team that made also the Mario Odyssey games, but I think that, you know, if they were to kind of tease a 3D Mario game, even if it was not come out until 2027, like late to 2027 at this point, to be honest, if it's even in development yet, would be really, really exciting, as, you know, it's a game that everybody loved, and we haven't seen a incredible 3D Mario game since Mario Odyssey, which has been out for a very long time now. So, to conclude the video, guys, what are my overall opinions on everything I've spoken about today? I really do think it's a real positive that the sales for the Switch 2 are really great, and the hardware is performing really well and producing really great graphics for some games that are really intensive. However, I think that Nintendo's catalogue not having many exclusive games is something that is really a hindrance in the side of them, to be honest. I think that, you know, as the Switch 1 is slowly phased out and they slowly look to building just games exclusively for the Switch 2, this issue will be fixed for me. But unfortunately, I'm still thinking that there haven't been enough exclusive games for the first 8 months of release. And with the unfortunate February Direct not giving us any exclusives either, it's really looking like we're going to be looking to at least the summer for any other even announcements of anything exclusive. I really am enjoying my Switch 2 and I am finding it a really great console to use. And I think, as I said, the hardware is great. But unfortunately, I really could do with more games that are exclusive to really sell it to my friends who aren't really considering getting the console yet. So, I'd really like to thank you all very much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed listening to my opinions on Nintendo Switch 2 and all of the exclusives that I think it might be lacking. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, and what Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive game you'd really like to be announced next. I really hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I'd really implore you to look at some of the other videos I've been making on this channel. I will link them in the end of the description card now. Thank you very much for watching, and I have a good rest of your week. Goodbye.